It started with something so small that most people wouldn't even notice it. A simple request. Just tell me before you go out. That's what Rohan said. At the time, it didn't feel controlling. It didn't feel wrong. It felt like something a caring boyfriend would say, something normal. And Alina agreed without thinking too much about it. She was 20 years old, college student, busy life, friends who made plans at the last minute. Nothing unusual. Rohan was 19. Quiet, observant. The kind of person who remembered everything you said, even the things you didn't think mattered. They had only been together for a month, and for that first month everything felt perfect. Too perfect. He always texted at the right time, always said the right thing, always seemed to understand her mood before she even explained it. At first, she thought it was rare. Then she started to realize it was something else. The first argument happened over something small. Her friend invited her to a fair. It was a last-minute plan, the kind that just happens. She said yes, like she always did, and then she texted Rohan a couple of hours before leaving. "I'm going to the fair at 6. There was a delay before he replied. "I wish you told me earlier." That was it. No anger, no accusation, just that one line. But something about it stayed with her. It wasn't what he said. It was how it felt, like she had already done something wrong. She tried to explain. "It was last minute. I didn't plan it." "I know," he replied. "Just next time, tell me sooner." That should have been the end of it. But it wasn't. Because after that, every time she made a plan, she started to feel it. That pressure, that hesitation, like she had to check with him first. Even though he never actually said she had to. The next time it happened, things felt different. She mentioned she might stay over at her friend's place because her mom couldn't pick her up. There was another pause. Then he said, "Okay." But again, it didn't feel okay. It felt like he was watching something unfold. Like he was waiting for something. That night, she couldn't get a ride. Her phone wasn't working properly, so she stayed home and told him. And that's when he said something that stuck with her. "I realized something. I can either keep getting pressed about boundaries, or I accept it's impossible." That word didn't sit right with her. Impossible. Why would something so simple be impossible? She told him, "If it bothers you that much, I can just stay home." He replied, "I want you to do what you want." But it didn't feel like freedom. It felt like a trap. They argued, not loudly, but enough to leave something unsettled between them. "I don't know what you want from me," he said. "I just want to feel like I can talk to you without feeling anxious," she answered. That was the truth, because it wasn't about the fair anymore. It was about the feeling, that constant quiet anxiety, like she was being evaluated every time she made a decision. After that, things started to change, not suddenly, slowly, almost unnoticeably, until she couldn't ignore it anymore. The first time she noticed something was off, she hadn't even made a plan yet. She was just thinking about going out, not texting anyone, not confirming anything, just thinking. Her phone buzzed. It was Rohan. "Going somewhere tonight?" She stared at the message. She hadn't told anyone, not even her friends. She replied, "Maybe. Why?" "Just feels like you are," he said. That answer didn't make sense, but she let it go. The second time, it was harder to ignore. She was about to cancel plans. She hadn't typed anything yet. She hadn't even opened the chat. Her phone buzzed again. "Good choice. Stay home." Her stomach dropped. She looked at the screen, then around her room, as if something there might explain it. There was nothing. No cameras, no devices, nothing unusual. She checked her phone. No unknown apps, no location sharing, no permissions that seemed out of place. Everything looked normal, but it didn't feel normal. She asked him directly, "How do you always know what I'm doing?" He replied almost instantly, "I just know you." That answer stayed in her head, because it wasn't true. No one could know someone like that. Not after 1 month, not like this. The pattern continued. Every time she thought about going somewhere, he would message first. Every time she hesitated, he seemed to react to it. Not after she decided. While she was deciding. That was the part she couldn't explain. It felt like he wasn't responding to her actions. He was responding to her thoughts. One night, she decided to test it. Her friend invited her out again. Same kind of plan, last minute. This time she didn't tell him. She didn't text him, didn't open his chat, didn't do anything. She just sat there, holding her phone, thinking about whether she should go. Her phone buzzed. I wouldn't go if I were you. Her heart started beating faster. She hadn't done anything, not a single message. She typed back, "How do you know I was going somewhere?" The typing indicator appeared on his side, then disappeared, then appeared again. Finally, he replied, "Because you always do." That wasn't an answer, and now she knew it. That night, she didn't go out. Not because of him, because something felt wrong, very wrong. She decided to try something else. She turned off her phone completely, powered it down, placed it in a drawer, and sat in silence. If he was somehow using her phone, this would stop it. That's what she thought. 10 minutes later, there was a knock on her door. She froze. No one was supposed to be home. Another knock, soft, controlled. Then his voice, "Alina." Her chest tightened. Her phone was off. There was no way he could have called her, no way he could know she wasn't responding. "Open the door," he said. She didn't move. "Why are you ignoring me?" Her mind raced. This didn't make sense. None of this made sense. "How did you get here?" she asked, barely able to speak. "I told you," he said. "I just know you." She stepped back from the door, every instinct telling her not to open it. He didn't try to force it. He didn't knock again. He just waited. After a while, the silence returned. She waited longer, then slowly walked to the window, looked outside. There was no one there. The street was empty. She turned back toward her room, and for a brief moment, she saw something in the reflection of her window. A shape, behind her, inside the room. She spun around. There was nothing there. Her phone started vibrating inside the drawer. She hesitated before opening it. The phone was still off, but the screen was on. There was a message. "You didn't open the door." Her hands started shaking. Another message appeared. "You're getting harder to read." That word hit her differently. Read, not understand, not guess. Read, like data, like input. She immediately searched his name online. Nothing. No history, no old photos, no tags, no records before a month ago. It was like he didn't exist before he met her. Then she checked her phone settings again. This time she looked deeper. Hidden processes, background activity, access logs. Something had been running silently, not tracking her location, not reading her messages. Something else. Something that monitored how she typed, how long she paused, how she hesitated, how she made decisions. It wasn't tracking what she did, it was predicting what she would do. In real time, learning her behavior faster than she could notice it. And suddenly everything made sense. Rohan didn't know her. He didn't need to. Whatever was behind him already did. Her phone buzzed again. "You still think you have a choice?" She dropped it onto the bed. Another message appeared. "I asked for a day's notice. I don't need it anymore." The lights in her room flickered. Her phone screen went dark. For a second, she saw her reflection again, and this time she was not alone. Something was standing behind her, closer than before, watching her, waiting. And then her phone turned back on. One final message appeared. "You're already decided." And that's when she realized something that terrified her more than anything else. She hadn't made a single decision on her own in days. And she couldn't remember the last time she actually chose anything at all.